Jim's followers, not all agree. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim McCotter. I have about 1,000 Substack followers, and I thank the Lord for all pastors, national NGOs, and CEOs, and many others like me, as 1 Corinthians 1:26 describes us, and I quote, "Not many of you and me were wise by human standards. Not many were powerful. Not many were of noble birth. But God chose the foolish things of the world to shame the wise. God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. God chose the lowly things of this world and the despised things and the things that are not to nullify the things that are." End quote. How wonderful that even the lowest of us God delights in showing his power through to bring down the mighty. May God help us to be humble as we ought and realize he can and wants to use any of us who are willing for his mission and glory. I feel a little challenged to write such a diverse crowd of followers and from all races, blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, etc. And many of you I have not met, but I do appreciate and love you all and pray God's blessing for us and our nation during this critical time in our history. I like to have open comments, positive or negative, yet most come to me privately. This was also true with the latest article I wrote, Why Every Black Person Should Praise These White Republican Christian Men. One influential black businessman who privately responded negatively, I thought might be beneficial if you saw it and my response to him. He sent it to me on October 4th, 2024 at 3:08 p.m. to Jim McCotter, and it was on this subject matter, why every black person should praise these white Republican Christian men. Jim, thanks for the lesson in black history from a white man's perspective. For the record, we're not that ignorant and gullible and never have been. The assertion is overwhelmingly insulting. I think you are aware that the Southern Dixiecrats fled to and took over the Republican Party when the Democrats embraced social change. You may not recall Nixon's dirty deal with the Dixiecrats that sealed the deal and put him in office. Read Nixon's piano for the details. Yes, Nixon and Reagan called us monkeys, good Republicans. And understand why I don't praise the Union soldiers. Very few of them had no regard for black people. Check the facts. Lincoln himself said that if he could save the Union and not free any slaves, he would. He saw blacks as in no way equal to whites. Read up on it. Next, you will praise Lincoln for freeing the blacks. He freed no one. And read the Emancipation Proclamation. It did not free people in the states where he had power. Maryland and Kentucky remained free to enslave. Another reason I don't trust the good-meaning Republicans. They always have a slant on the truth. Please stop telling us what is good for us. It is patronizing, belittling, and insulting. I think we all would be better served if Christian messengers spent time telling white evangelical Republicans how they have lost their souls and now worship the flag and Trump. Please remind them about God and Jesus. Take them back to the Sermon on the Mount. Tell them about blessed are the meek. That is his whole unedited email. I thought of responding to every point, giving what I think would have been more a correct understanding, but for the sake of time, I did not. Furthermore, none of those details, whether accurate or not, were really relevant. The issue is, which political party has always opposed the interest of the blacks? I believe unwittingly he fell into the same rabbit hole propagandized by the left. Focus on, I got you here, I got you there. Whether true or otherwise, it all diverts from the issue. Which political party has always voted against the blacks? My email reply to him on October 4, 2024 at 11:23 p.m. Again on the subject, why every black person should praise these white Republican Christian men. I didn't say his name, but I refer it here to you as friend, I wrote. I really do appreciate your feedback, but I would like to make a couple comments. One, I do not view your comments less credible or even prejudiced because you are black. I'm sorry if you feel my thoughts are prejudiced because they come, quote, from a white man's perspective, end quote. If I'm off in any way, it is not because I have any prejudice on skin colors. Actually, there are many blacks now that have previously responded and reported on everything I also have in this article, and some saying it much stronger than I have. But black or white makes no difference to God or to me, only being truly biblical. But just a thought about Republicans. There are plenty of them that need to be redeemed, to say the least. I don't have the time now to question every point you made, though I'm aware of most, if not all, and neither do I question a lot of what you said. However, without looking at certain acts of certain individuals here and there, Republicans or otherwise, I would hope you're not rejecting the historically overall that the Democratic Party was the pro-slavery party, the pro-Jim Crow party, and dominate ever since the 60s to today in pushing welfare programs that statistically has only perpetuated poverty, and especially with the blacks. Just a final thought. I don't think you should assume if someone is white and knows historical America and the flag it represents, how America from 1620 until near the end of the 20th century, if they believe it has been the greatest nation on earth, promoted Christianity more than any other nation on earth, and believes that Trump promotes what's right far more than Harris, such persons should be condemned as having, quote, lost their souls and now worship the flag and Trump, end quote. This November will be a turning point one way or the other. May I ask you a question? Though I think I probably see faults in Trump no less than you evidently do, considering what you have written, I'm wondering if you think a knowledgeable, Bible-believing, genuine Christian should vote for Harris. Thanks again for your input, Jim. Well, just to conclude here, I could have said a lot more, but saving it for my next article. However, I maybe should have at least also responded to his comment about Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, that Christians should only talk, quote, about blessed are the meek, end quote. I might have reminded him what Jesus said to pray for in his sermon, God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven, and show him how much Jesus was a political activist. When you read my book, Christian Manifesto, in jimsbookstore.com. Political issues are indeed spiritual and biblical issues, no less than church issues. The verse I'll conclude on is in 2 Timothy 2:24 through 26. Quote, the Lord's servant must not be quarrelsome, but must be kind to everyone, able to teach, not resentful. Opponents must be gently instructed in the hope that God will grant them repentance, leading them to a knowledge of the truth, and that they will come to their senses and escape from the trap of the devil who has taken them captive to do his will.